Okay, so it's been a minute since I've done one of these. It is 9/16. It is February 26, 2020. Last time I did one of these, I think it was like before I went to California for a week. And I was in Oakland for work. But so I just need to like vent to get some shit really off my chest right now. And it's really about the trans community. It really is, because I'm like, shit really blows me. So there is this perception of my person as a representation of the trans community that I don't care about the trans community, that I don't do anything for the trans community, that I think I'm better than everyone in the trans community, and that I don't really count because like I didn't go through certain struggles or thresholds that typical trans women are, I guess, expected to go through. And it was brought to my attention by a former business associate that I was working with or doing business with, that she was also a trans woman, that she was being told not to work with me or do business. And she was like, she ignored it because, I was always so nice to her and she didn't have issues with me and I wasn't a problem for her. But that there are trans women who just kept telling her not to deal with me, not to work with me. And it honestly pisses me the fuck off, bruh. Like, I've been writing and fighting and doing my work and doing my part for the trans community since like the fuck I started identifying as such, like on the real, when I learned and understood it and started really even identified as it for myself. So it was like, and anybody who knows me knows I've always cared and done work for the LGBTQIA plus community in general. So it's like, it's really frustrating that my time here in DC for the last almost 8 years, because I came here in 2013, 2014, or 7 years or whatever the case is, the fact that they are the ones that have for the most part really go out of their way to defile my name and my person, especially when the truth of the matter is I don't even have a bunch of friends who are trans. I have a select handful that I'm really, really close with and that I respect and support, that respect and support me and that I love. And bro, I just don't get it. I really don't get it. My song Insecure, there was a line in there where I was that's it. Am I really here? Is this really mine? I said, does my rape count? Does my abuse matter? Is my experience part of the platter? All you really do is push me out the picture when all I want to do is make us even bigger. That line, that whole stanza, whatever case is, that whole thing was literally about how I felt about the trans community, because it's people, they keep trying to erase me and trying to make me out to be this horrible person that I'm not. And I don't have any history of beefing with trans women, really at all. It's so, it hurts because I'm not about to cry. People don't understand how growing up for me, I didn't feel like I ever fit in anywhere. So as a kid, I dealt with the whole, when I'm at home, I'm too nerdy and I'm too white. But then when I'd be at school and it was predominantly white kids, I was I was just enough black for them, but I still didn't really fit in. And then by the time I got to middle school and high school and shit, and I started identifying with the LGBT community, I still didn't fucking fit in. I still felt like a complete outsider. I still never felt like my true and like full self. And the shit really hurted. And it was like, and so when I became trans, I thought for the first time in my life, I was like, oh my God, I fit into something. I fit somewhere. You know, that's all of us really do want is love and to fucking fit in somewhere and feel like we belong to a group of people or some kind of way. And I'll never forget it. I moved up here, and the first time I experienced dealing with a trans woman, she threw me so much fucking shade. Like, and gave me so much hell. I think I was just going to a particular location to, I think, get tested for HIV, and they just so happened to be right by Howard. And they decided the girl or woman that was working there was rude as shit. Oh, we don't do all that. Don't worry about doing all that. We don't. What did she say? She was like, oh, ain't nobody here to do all that. Girl, you just gotta come back another day. Go to like, you'll be fine type thing. It was just like, okay, that was just rude. Like, you don't have to speak like that. And initially, I didn't take it like for face value. I was like, I just figured, okay, maybe like she's just rude. But then as time went on, and I was starting to be in spaces that were primarily more gay men and like sometimes some trans women, then I started to really realize like a lot of trans women really do have a problem with me. And like they didn't want to fuck with me. They would shade me. They would talk about me behind my back. It became the most messiest bullshit, cattiest shit. And mind you, I'm not someone who is here for all of that shit. I don't deal with all of that shit. I don't have time for it. I don't care. Like, I just don't. I just don't. I keep to myself. I work and do my part to help and change the world the ways that I can do that. And I cannot understand. And so even while I was at Howard, I was the only outed trans woman there. I wasn't the only trans woman there, but I was outed. So it was just like, it made everything like 10 times harder to try to get through Howard. And I felt isolated and alone. And a lot of people shunned me and treated me like shit. And so, like, I don't know, man. Like, I don't get it. Like, it's not my fault that I have a family that is really supportive of who I am and what I am. It's not my fault that, like, I don't have the deepest voices, and that I get a lot of my looks from, you know, my mom and my dad. And, you know, I really look like my mom, and, you know, and my dad sometimes too, but I can't change that. I chose to not do sex work. I chose to go to school and figure out a way. I'm fully aware of my pretty privileges, my light skin privileges, my passing privileges, all of that shit. Like, I'm fully aware. And when moments were hard and dark where I could have chosen to do other things, I chose not to do sex work. And it's like, I don't get credit for navigating through an HBCU, one of the top HBCUs in the country, as trans alone. There was no one else to talk to about transitioning and who I was becoming at Howard. It was just me. The one trans man that was there, I think during the time I was there, he left because Howard didn't have, I think, the major he wanted. So he ended up leaving. So he wasn't even there long. But it was like, me getting raped and robbed, being trans, didn't matter. You know, my dating experience and the shit I deal with men, that doesn't matter. The fact that I work with a company that in the past was known for being, like, I guess transphobic or not really for the girls, not only did I work there, I worked my way up there to really making a name for myself while being there, but then also started a trans support group and was helping trans women in the best ways that I could with connections and things of that nature while I was there, and then was able to start my music career and fund it and tell my stories through music and make my entire first video dedicated to trans women and the bullshit that they talk about us in media and what and how we are being killed and no one cares, and like, it's ridiculous and it hurts. And I'm just so fucking sick of it, bro. Like, I don't do shit to no fucking body. Like, there's not a trans woman I go out of my way to come after, to harm or hurt. I done housed trans women and they have burned the fuck out of me. Like, giving them the food, the clothes, everything that I had, and money, and they still burned me and disrespected me in my home. But I don't go public. I don't go bashing them. I don't do none of that, man. I still wish them best. I still hope that they will find their way and that they're okay. But like, I'm so tired of trying to feel like I have to prove myself. And people wonder why I don't go to certain events. And people wonder why I don't hang out at places anymore and things of that nature. I only want to be in spaces where I feel good energy, that I feel welcomed, where I feel safe, where I feel okay. And that's in spaces with people that I know I do call friends. Not just random spaces and parties and shit like that. Like, I just stopped doing it. I just stopped caring because I was sick of it. I just, man, I need something to change, to get better, to be better. Just, I need something because I am so tired. And while I'm prepping myself to move to Atlanta, I'm like, what the fuck's gonna happen to me there? Because I don't know what to expect. Hell, like, I already deal with trans women not liking the fact that I'm close with gay men or men in general, because now everybody thinks I'm sleeping with every fucking dude they see me with, and it's like, bro, no, like, that's not even the fucking case. And then you got people that think, or just, well, trans women in general, that if I'm friends with their dude that's their boyfriend, then all of a sudden I'm a problem. I'm trying to get their man. I'm trying to sleep with their man. It's like, no, like, no matter what guy I'm friends with and what woman he dates, I've never been the type of person to, like, you know, how to explain this? I give more respect to the women than I do the men. So I'm not going to overstep my boundaries and talk to this nigga or like talk to him in inappropriate ways, send him pictures and shit like that. No, like, I'm 9 times out of 10 checking him to make sure he's doing right by you and he's treating you good and he's not fucking up. Like, man, and giving him advice and shit. Like, I'm just so fucking tired. Like, this shit really makes me feel like I'm alone, and I wasn't enough in the straight world. I wasn't enough in the gay world. and now I'm not enough in the trans world. So where the fuck am I? Where am I enough? Where am I enough? Where do I matter? Where does me as an individual, as a fucking person, you know, have value, have worth? Like, where do I actually fucking matter, bro? Because I'm tired of feeling like I don't. And I'm tired of I'm just tired of all this shit, man. And I'd rather stay to myself, stay to my favorite place, which is my bedroom, where I can be whoever I want to be, and I'm accepted and loved because I accept and love me in that space. So I'm just tired, and it makes me scared about going back to Georgia because I don't want to deal with this shit, bro. I really don't. Like, I don't have time for this shit. I'm trying to be great. I want to be a great artist. You know, I want people to really be able to relate to my music. I want people to know what's really going on with girls like us as trans women. You know, I really want to try to help folks do music and make a difference. You know, I want to make my mark on the world and hope that everything I'm doing is helping somebody out there in some way, shape, or form. But shit like this really hurts. I just don't like feeling like I don't have a place to be. No, it's a lie, but I guess I'm done. I don't even know if anything I said makes sense, but